Imagine graduating high school, getting your first job, and finally feeling like you're becoming an adult. Then someone asks you if you want to open a credit card. You say yes because it sounds like the responsible thing to do, and a few months later, tax season comes around and you realize you have no idea how to file your taxes. Then you check your credit score for the first time and wonder why it's so low. The truth is, this happens to a lot of people. We spend years in school learning subjects like algebra, chemistry, and history, but students graduate without learning how to manage their own money. And the crazy part is, almost every one of us is going to need those skills. Whether you plan on going to college or start working right after high school, or maybe doing both, we'll all have to pay bills, use our credit cards, understand loans, rent apartments, and make financial decisions that can affect us for years. As a college student, I've realized how often money comes up in everyday life. After researching this topic using sources like the New York Times, CQ Researcher, ABC Silo, the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis, and Education Digest, I believe every high school student should be required to take a personal finance class before graduating. Today, I'll explain why students graduate without important financial skills, how requiring a personal finance class can better prepare students for adulthood, and what we can do to help make that happen. Let's start with the problem. The biggest problem is that students are expected to become financially independent without ever being taught the basics. Many graduate without knowing how to build credit, make a budget, file taxes, understand loans, or how interest even works. Instead, we're expected to figure it out as we go. According to Ann Carnes, a personal finance reporter for the New York Times, adults answered only 47% of the questions correctly on the 2026 Personal Finance Index. That means even adults struggle with basic financial knowledge, which shows this isn't something people automatically learn as they get older. Thomas Bill, a researcher and writer for CQ Researcher who covers public policy issues, explains that many students graduate without understanding basic financial concepts like budgeting, taxes, credit, and interest rates. That's a problem because once you graduate, you're expected to make these decisions almost immediately. Without knowing these skills, people make mistakes that can follow them for years. Some people open up credit cards without understanding interest. Others miss loan payments, damage their credit. Others end up in debt because no one ever explained how these things worked. Those mistakes can make it harder to buy a car, rent an apartment, qualify for a mortgage, or even get certain jobs. Many of those problems could be avoided if students learn these skills before graduating. Some people argue that parents should be the ones teaching financial literacy. While that would be great, not every student has parents who understand these topics themselves, or parents that have the time to teach them. That's why I believe schools should fill the gap. The solution is simple. Every high school should require students to take one personal finance class before graduating. The class could cover budgeting, taxes, saving, investing, insurance, credit cards, loans, and other real-life skills that students will actually use. The goal isn't to turn everyone into financial experts. It's simply to make sure students understand enough to avoid expensive mistakes when they become adults. According to Ivan Rodden and his co-authors who wrote about financial education for ABC Silo, financial education helps people make informed financial decisions. That shows that learning these skills before graduating can help students make smarter choices and feel more confident when they begin managing money on their own. Now imagine graduating already knowing how to budget your money, build good wealth, and understand student loans, and file your taxes. Instead of feeling overwhelmed every time a financial decision comes up, you'd already have the confidence to handle it. You'd be starting adulthood with the knowledge instead of the confusion. Now imagine the opposite. You graduate without those skills. You sign up for loans you don't fully understand, you miss payments, damage your credit, and spend years fixing mistakes that could have been prevented if someone had simply taught you the basics. That's why I believe this class should be required. Learning these skills before we need them can actually save us a lot of stress later on. We can all help by supporting financial education in our schools. Talk to your friends, talk to your family about why it matters. Encourage your local school district to offer personal finance classes. Support financial literacy requirements whenever you have the opportunity. And don't be afraid to speak up when schools ask for student input. Even small conversations can help bring more attention to this issue. Today we talked about the problem of students graduating without financial knowledge, the solution of requiring a personal finance class, and the actions we can take to support that idea. Personally, I plan to continue learning about personal finance because I know these are skills I will use for the rest of my life. I hope future students have the opportunity to learn these lessons in the classroom instead of learning the hard way. Education is supposed to prepare us for the future. If schools expect us to succeed as adults, then teaching us how to manage our money shouldn't be optional. It should be a part of every student's education. Thank you.